How I escape pain through weight loss. Today on Meema Mc Living Healthy. Stay tuned. Hello. Like I said earlier, today's topic is how I escape pain through weight loss. You see, I've had a weight problem for most of my life. The first time I remember going on a diet, I was 12 years old, in the middle of the 7th grade, and I was tired of being heavy. Now, I only weighed about 130 to 135 pounds, but I was less than 5 feet tall. So that was overweight for me. I was in a size 16 women's clothing, so obviously I was overweight. I should be in something around a 5 or a 7 juniors. That was my first experience. Little did I know at that age that I was going to face a lifetime of struggling with my weight. In my 20s, after my children were born, I continued to gain weight. I was just maybe 20 pounds overweight when I was having my children, but within just a few years, that amount almost doubled. And by the time I was in my mid to late 30s, I was at least 40 pounds overweight. Now, I'm only 5'3". I'm not big bone, not little bone either, but somewhere in the middle. And being 40 pounds overweight for so many years took its toll on my legs, specifically my legs. So in my 40s, I began to have a limp, and it was caused from a weakness in my right hip. I got to where I didn't even notice it anymore because it was such a regular thing for me. But I did know that I had a limp. Fast forward another 20 years and another 20 to 25 pound weight gain. And here we are in the year 2013. I weighed somewhere in the neighborhood of 215 to 220 pounds. And I had weighed that for several years. I can go back and look at pictures of me in 2007, and I'm already pretty heavy. So from 2007 to 2013, I probably weighed in the neighborhood of 200 to 220 pounds. I would go on a little bit of a diet during that time and lose it, but it never lasted. So in 2013, after all these years of being overweight, after the last 6 years of being obese, my body began to fail me. Not only did I have that limp on my right side anymore, my left foot and ankle had some major problems. And I had to be in a boot for 4 months in 2013. Well, after wearing that boot on my left leg, I was favoring it so much that my right foot developed plantar fasciitis. And my right hip got much worse. I was limping a lot by that time. I got scared in 2013 that this was just going to progress and I was eventually going to be in a wheelchair. I knew that I was overweight. I had been saying for years that I had to lose weight. I'd sit on my couch and watch The Biggest Loser and eat. Go figure, but that's what I did. So finally, in 2013, after having the health problems that I had, I was determined to change my future. See, I couldn't do anything about what I had done in the past, but I had control over my future. And I decided to make a change. I decided I was tired of being tired. So the only way to improve that was to lose weight. I've shared many times on this channel that in January of 2014, I started Weight Watchers. At the time that I started Weight Watchers, I wasn't able to get any exercise. But luckily for me, Weight Watchers worked without exercise, to begin with anyway. And after about 3 months, I lost somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 25 pounds, and I felt like walking again. I felt like I wanted to get out and enjoy life. Here it was springtime. I can remember being in Florida, and I love to walk in Florida. It's flat. I don't have that much of an incline that I had to walk up. So I began to walk again, and that did help at least give me a sense of maintenance when I struggled in some of the plateaus that I did during those first 9 months. Now, by October of 2014, I had lost 75 pounds, actually a little bit over 75 pounds. I achieved my first goal weight of 137 pounds. I wasn't ready to get off of weight loss mode, so I stayed on it till February and then got down to about 122 to 123 pounds. And lo and behold, my ankle and my foot on my left side was 100% better. My health, my vitals, all the signs that I had been developing over the last few years of being unhealthy began to get better. My glucose level, my blood pressure, which I'd never had problems with my blood pressure until those last couple of years. They all leveled out. My cholesterol was low again. I was on medication. I don't want you to think that I was not. I was on a cholesterol lowering medication. But once I lost the weight, my cholesterol went down another 20 points. My triglycerides were good. Everything that could be good except for some age-related things like my vitamin D level. It was pretty low. My hormones, they weren't too good. But I was so much more healthy from losing that weight that it gave me incentive to want to stay the weight that I was. Well, in 2016, I had the health problem. I was put on a medication that really slowed down my metabolism. So about 18 months later, I found myself 20 pounds heavier and limping pretty bad again. I had a goal that I wanted to go to Disney World in March of 2018, and I would never be able to keep up with the 5 teenagers I was going with. I was determined to get that 20 to 25 pounds off. Within 5 to 6 months, I did, plus an extra 10 pounds. I'm always one that likes to have a cushion loss, and if you're able to do that, I totally recommend it. But after that weight was gone, the limp was considerably less. I had a wonderful time in Disney World in May of 2018. And I didn't have to worry about my legs giving out on me. I kept up with those teenagers. And why? It really began to register with me that when I began to put some of the weight back on, my physical health deteriorated. So I would escape it for a while, escape that pain in my hip, and then I would put some weight back on, which in 2016 and 17, I put on 20 to 25 pounds, like I said. and then I could barely get around again. I can't imagine had I gained back all the weight. I don't think I would be walking right now, honestly. The pain would be too severe. Then finally, during these crazy last 2 years, I had put on another 5 to 8 pounds. And last summer, I'm going to try to find a clip of that video that I made last summer about having to walk with a cane. This year, in particular, I've had some struggles with my right hip. And so now, this is my constant friend. He goes with me just about everywhere I go now. I'm not happy that he has to be with me, but I so appreciate the support that he gives me. Now here I was at only 128 to 130 pounds, but I found myself having to walk with a cane because my hip was in so much pain. I couldn't get around without a crutch of some sort. So that gave me a lot of incentive. I had started making videos again, and I wanted to be responsible to my viewership. I wanted to be held accountable, and I wanted to be out of pain. So I dropped that 5 to 8 pounds. Then I dropped another 5 to 8 pounds. And since that time, I have not had any severe pain in my hip. So, what have I learned from all of this? I did a lot of damage from being overweight all those years. And if I will keep in a healthy weight range, and for me, a healthy weight range is between 123 and 125 pounds. Now, some people think that's too low. Well, I know my body better than anybody else, including my doctor, including my husband, my kids. I know when I gain 5 pounds now, my hip suffers from it. Yes, I will always have that limp because of all the damage that I've done over the years. And the whole reason I'm making this video today is I'm hoping that you will see this and learn from it before you're standing in the same shoes I am. Before you have such issues with your health that you can't escape them. You know, every time I've gained some of the weight back, it's been less weight when I start feeling that pain in my hip. I know, I'm 67 years old, so that's going to happen. But if you're still in your 40s and you're not experiencing a limp yet, learn from this. Learn that if you can get yourself into a healthy weight range, you won't have to go through what I have to go through. It's not fun to have to get around with a cane occasionally. And I think that's my lot in life. I'm very happy that I have a cane that helps me get around. But I just wish I didn't have to do it. So if you don't have the problems that I have now, consider getting in a healthy weight range. If you're in a healthy weight range, if you're like me and on maintenance, stay there. It's a commitment that's been so worth it for me. My health remains good. You know, even when I gained that 25 pounds back, my vital signs were good. It was my poor old joints that were struggling. And so now I'm going to try my best to stay at this weight range. Right now I am right in the middle of my happy weight. I weighed in this morning at 123.6. That likes 0.6 of a pound of being a 90-pound weight loss since I started Weight Watchers in January of 2014. If you've never watched any of my videos, and this is your first one, I hope you would consider subscribing. That's not my goal, is to have a whole lot of subscribers, but I do want to help people. I want to give you encouragement. I want to give you information, and the way I give you that information is through my experience. I hope you have a wonderful week. Oh, like this video, or give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Comment below and let me know if you have suffered from some kind of health problem also, and when you got into your healthy weight range, how you noticed that it was gone. Until next time, goodbye.